So, welcome everybody. This is the third week of International Weeks, and we are talking this week about Latin America. My name is Cristina Romanella. I'm from the International Mobility Unit. I'm here today with my colleague Elisa Domenis.
Hello, everybody. Welcome.
And our office is in charge of international mobility at Politecnico. And today, as we are focusing on Latin America, we have some guests. We have students who had a mobility in Latin America before, and we have professors who are promoters for some universities we are going to present to you. But before starting, what is international mobility? International mobility programs that we have available in Politecnico are short-term mobility, which are called Erasmus if they are in the European Union. And now, as we are talking about Latin America, they are non-EU. They are called bilateral agreements. So short-term is from 3 to 12 months in a partner institution where you follow courses and give exams, and then the credits will be validated once you come back to Politecnico. And we're going to show you also some partners of short-term. And the other possibility of exchange is double degree program. A double degree program is different. It is to gain a double degree, a second degree, not only degree at Polimi, but also a degree at the partner university. And therefore, it will take more time and more work, obviously. And we're going to show you also one example today. Before we start, I would like to remind you to please check in the educational rules of your study program, the point 12, where we have all the rules explained for your study program about double degrees and also about short term. So when you can go abroad, how many credits you can take, what are the rules generally for exchange programs. I would also like to show you how you can find destination, because today we are showing you some destinations, but we have got a lot of destinations in Politecnico. So you can find destinations dedicated to your study program in educational rules, international context, or in Italian it's called Manifesto, Internazionalizzazione. Okay, there you can find courses that are destinations that are available for your study program. After you found your destination or some information about the destination available for your study program, you can also check in our map that we have available on the website for more detailed information, because you can find information directly of the partner university, or you can find a link for the partner university and for the application procedure. Now, I would like to leave the floor directly to Professor Gritti and his other guest, who is Professor Pierpaolo Galbiati from Peru, Universidad Peruana de Ciencias Aplicadas. Sorry, I'm not a Spanish speaker, so I hope that will do. And they will introduce us the first university. It's a new agreement, as I have understood. I hope it's correct. It's a new one, right, Professor Gritti?
Sorry, I didn't understand.
You can't hear me. Okay. I was saying it's a new agreement, so we would really like to learn something about this new agreement that we have with the partner university.
Yes, it's a new agreement with the Universidad Peruana de Ciencias Aplicadas. It's a university founded in 1993. That is a very young university, also very dynamic university with a very important new campus in Monterrico in Lima. I think we have a very good possibility to introduce our students to visit Peru, to visit Lima, to visit UPC, because Peru is a fantastic country. It's a country with we could have the possibility to know different culture, Inca, Nazca, or Chimo, Moche in the north of Peru. And Lima is the center, is the hub of this relationship. And Lima is also a very dynamic, huge metropolis with a particular situation with archaeological elements, new modern architecture, both present in the metropolis. I think the students know the project for university related by the Grafton architects, or I think the idea that very important European architects are in Peru. Ricciani was born in Peru, for example, one of the most important architects, a French architect. And also Peru and Lima is a center of, is a world capital of cuisine, because I think the most important chef in the world now is Gaston Acurio, is a Peruvian chef. And Lima is also the city of the street food, the culture of the street food. But in the campus of Monterrico, UPCA has the idea to adopt the standard level of a European and the USA university and create a mix with Latin American culture. The Latin American culture in Peru is a very important part of the life in a metropolis like Lima. My favorite writer when I was young, when I was a student, was Vargas Llosa, a very important writer for Peru. I don't know if Pierpaolo Ciullen is present, I think.
Yes, he is with us.
I'm very glad to introduce Pierpaolo, because Pierpaolo was also is an Italian Peruvian architect, and also was a former student of Polytechnic of Milan. Pierpaolo has a master course, I think, in design course in Polytechnico, and now is one of the professors of the UPCA. I think it's possible to have by him some elements also for the presentation of UPCA.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, everyone. As you said, UPC is a young university, has 25 years. And I'm in the university since, I think, 15 years teaching. Architecture in UPC is very, I don't know how do you say it, it's very practical. We have 10 laboratori di progettazione, and instead of 5, we have this teaching in semester. So we have this 10 in 5 years to develop projects in the first year to the 5th year. The real thing important in the UPC is that we have 3 campuses, then we have all this in relation with the students and professors of the 3 campuses, and we have these exchanges always. The projects, the professors, and the classes. Other thing is that Lima, as Andrea said, is the capital of Peru. We have more or less 11 million people in Lima. Lima is a big city, and the opportunities to make projects for the students in a city like this is very interesting, because we have, for example, we have the ocean in one way, but if we take a car, in 50 minutes we arrive to the Andes. So we have a lot of types of climate here, a lot of type of culture, a lot of type of characteristical things of the people. So the possibilities to study this kind of architecture in Lima, in UPC, I think is very open a lot of doors to the students. As I said, we are this laboratories we call talleres de diseño arquitectónico. So these 10 in 5 years. Always a lot of the things that the students can do were the pre-professional practices, tirocinio. Other things like, for example, these 3 campus: Monterrico to the left, in the center Villa, in the left San Miguel. We have a population in architecture more or less 4,000 students in 3 campus. The library always. We have this accreditation with the Senior College University Commission, the AUIC, in the United States.
Can I ask you a question?
You
were talking about 3 campuses. Are they all in Lima, or are they spread around?
No, all in Lima. All in Lima.
And our students can choose to which campus they would like to come? Or?
Yes.
And are there any differences between the campuses, or are they similar?
No, very similar. The thing is, like, Lima is a very big city. To move inside Lima is difficult because you have a lot of time to move. So, for example, San Miguel is in the north zone of Lima. Villa is in the south zone of Lima, and Monterrico is in the center, more or less. This is the thing. In this situation right now, for example, that we have all these virtual classes, the students, for example, of San Miguel are in my courses. Students for Villa are also in my courses. Something like that. No?
Okay. And students, you were saying you have got 5 years of program. So students that can join us are all kind of levels. So bachelor and master students, Professor Gritti, is that right?
It's a bachelor level, but yes, it's a bachelor level, but it's possible for our students to have in the last semester of the master, our students last semester of the master, to have the possibility to study in the last year, the last semester of UPC, because in particular they have the possibility to have application in project, because one of the points of strength of UPC is the application, the executable and buildable project in the metropolis, and also an application for town planning with population, and the possibility to share a very impressive activities on the field.
Okay. So Professor Cuyen was also talking about about internships.
Yep.
So I guess that's also a very good opportunity for our students eventually to have.
Yes, we have an examples from other universities, and the students came here to Peru to do her thesis. So, for example, this was in 2016, I think. These 4 students from Camerino stay here in Lima for 4 months, and they make her thesis here in Lima. And also, students from the UPC go to the University of Camerino. And then, when they're finished, the students could have this tirocinio for in some studies or offices of architecture here in Lima or in Peru.
Okay. And just a quick question about the language. The courses you're offering are in Spanish, I guess.
In Spanish, yes, and also in English.
And also in English. Okay, that's I guess very interesting. I guess Spanish is not so big a problem for our Italian students.
No, I don't think so.
It's very easy for the students to learn Italiano or Italiano. I'm the speaker of that. Traveling and studying is very easy to have this possibility. Peru is a very multicultural country. with different opportunity. The Spanish language is like a background, and then you have the possibility to speak Chinese or speak English or speak French, because it's very impressive. Lima, for me, is the most impressive metropolis that I visited. I don't visit the Asian metropolis, and for that I am a particular point of view. But the dimension, the size, the opportunity in Lima are very incredible.
Thank you. Can I ask you one last question, maybe?
Please.
I know that the academic year in Latin America starts differently than the one in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a problem for our students when they join you, or so? Because our students can start normally, they start in first possibility to move for them is from September.
Yeah.
I guess you start earlier, so it is August. But August for you is the second semester, right?
Yes, we start in March, normally the second week of March, and finish this first semester on July, the second week, and then begin in the second week of August and finish in the second week of December. Normally, yes, please.
So if our students will join us in the second semester, that's not another problem.
No.
Second semester. Okay.
No, absolutely. Also, the students came here in our summer. I mean, January, February, because we have a short courses like workshops or these kind of things in these months also.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
The last thing is about the accreditation. This with the NAP, we have this accreditation in this year also, and I think this is all. I don't know if you have another questions or something more.
No, that was very interesting. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
And I leave the floor to Elisa, who is going to introduce another partner.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your explanation. And then I would like to fly with you with Brazil. So I'm going to introduce you, Professor Barbara Bogoni. Good morning, Professor.
Good morning.
Hello,
everybody.
So Professor Barbara Bogoni will speak about the Pontificia Universidade Católica de Rio de Janeiro. So if you just can kindly explain something about the didactical offer and what is the great asset for our students.
Yes, I apologize for my English because normally I work with students in Spanish or Portuguese, so I have a lot of things, but I hope that the communication goes very good. So I don't have some documents to share with you, but a list of possible answers that normally the students are immediately in work. So why a student choose to study in Brazil, in Rio, and in this specific university? PUC is a sort of line of a thought about architecture that is in different parts of Brazil and of Latin America. Sorry. And in Rio de Janeiro, you can find an enormous campus, an old campus, because the campus is founded in the 1940, more or less. I remember it. And we have in this campus a lot of different elements, different situations, different disciplines that you can find and you can experiment. Space for sports, space for different experience, theater or representations or design, a lot of things. But normally our students are searching in PUC methodology to approach the issue of the project, about the landscape and about the paysage. So normally our students are very happy to develop a completely different approach, different methodology, and find some interesting philosophy that is in this moment I can say that in this moment is very connected with the philosophy of the Portuguese architects. We know that in Brazil we have an enormous territory with different point of view, but I see this connection with the point of view of Portuguese architecture. So in PUC we can find good courses about paysage and landscape. Good courses about the design and drawings, so connected. And good courses about the big buildings, the project of big buildings, because the tradition in Brazil is exactly this one. And then in the campus of PUC, economy, technology, human science, engineering. So all the structure of the plan of studies is connected with this engineering philosophy, no?
Okay.
Is very connected with that.
And my colleague mentioned before, in the other institute, there were different campuses. How are these in PUC de Rio de Janeiro? Are there different campuses or?
No, in Rio is this one.
Okay.
It's only one. It's very, very big, very big. But the articulation of the campus, the sustainability of the spaces, the construction with green spaces is very, very human.
Okay.
Human. Because in Rio is not normal. It's not normal. Rio is an enormous city. It's not big. It's enormous. I think that Rio is 5 or 6 cities. No, only in one place with completely different situation. But the campus is very contained.
Okay, so I guess there is also a quite interesting environment of students. I guess there are many international students coming from all over the world, so maybe they might combine the two aspects so they can deepen the knowledge, as you said, the Portuguese architectures and the Brazilian kind of didactic offer, and also an international student context. So
yes, in the campus we have more or I don't know the numbers exactly, okay. But we have a lot of different nationalities of students that live in the campus and are interested in the courses at different levels, because we have bachelor and then different levels until postgraduate courses. But the community is completely international in Rio, in the PUC of Rio de Janeiro. Of course, we have the courses in Portuguese. Okay. All the courses are in Portuguese, but all the international universities in this moment have courses in English, of course. But we have there. But I suggest to the students, Italian or international students, to have this experience with the Portuguese language. Higher study in 3 months Portuguese is possible, absolutely possible. it's possible and it is important to have this experience with the language, because the complete comprehension of the didactic, of the philosophy of the project, and the thought of the architects, Portuguese and Brazilian, in this case, architects, come from the rhythm and the sonority of the sound, of the language. This is very, very important.
This is really an interesting point you are stressing, because usually students are very worried about learning foreign languages. And this is something that before leaving is really a question I always ask. So it's important to stress this and to say that, Portuguese, you can learn Portuguese, you can do it, and this makes a difference. So thank you for saying this.
Isso é verdade, mas aprender a língua portuguesa não é difícil por nada. Todos os estudantes podem fazer. I think that is very, very possible, because all students of Politecnico di Milano can use the courses of Portuguese in Portugal or in Italy, in the Politecnico, to prepare. In 3 months we have the possibility to understand and speak the Portuguese language, and it is another important skill for students.
Okay, so I thank you very much, Professor Barbara Bogoni, for this presentation. We see you later, because you will present another. Yes, exactly. And then let's fly to Ecuador. I would like, you already met Professor Andrea Gritti, and he is here with us with Professor Felipe José Palacios Serra. I don't know how the pronunciation is. And they will speak about Universidad San Francisco de Quito. So I leave the floor to you.
Ecuador. Ecuador is a very amazing country. And I love Ecuador because it's the first country that which I visited in Latin America in 2013. If we have spoken about Peru as a country where the most important question is the presence of different historical culture, in Ecuador is the question of the biodiversity, the most important thing. Because if you have a travel in Ecuador, you could visit the beach on the ocean or the Galapagos, and then you could have the opportunity to visit the Andes, and Quito is in the center of the Andes, and then the Amazon rainforest. It's possible to have a trip in all the biodiversity of the world. It's very impressive. I think the most important point of strength of the Universidad San Francisco de Quito, it is as the only one campus, university campus in Galapagos, in the world. They have this campus from, I think, 10 years ago, and they developed a workshop every year in Galapagos, dedicated to landscape architecture and also sustainable architecture. The model of Universidad San Francisco de Quito, the learning model, is an American model, and is a private institution with a very beautiful campus. I think after Felipe Palacio could show some images of this campus, with a very impressive level of research, not only didactic, but also research. Felipe Palacio is a young professor, but University San Francisco of Quito was founded by the best architects, Ecuadorian architects, in the 80s. Now these architects are in the historian book of architecture, but I think it's a very interesting relay with the young and the former professor in Quito. We have promoted this seats for architectural and urban design, and I think is the best choice. If Felipe Palacio is here, we could share this presentation with for your university.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you for the invitation and be able to present Universidad San Francisco de Quito, USFQ, and show you some of our campus and our philosophy. As Andrea said, USFQ is based in Quito, Ecuador, since 1988. Is the only university in the world to have a campus in the Galapagos Islands and in the Amazon rainforest, where world-class scientists conduct groundbreaking research and teaching. Closely following the American model, USFQ is a liberal arts university that believes in freedom as a fundamental human characteristic and in training students to become well-rounded world citizens, leaders, and entrepreneurs. Therefore, architects and designers find the perfect place to take advantage of this open and holistic type of education. The College of Architecture and Interior Design here at USFQ offer programs design-based and studio-centered to meet the competitive requirements of the real world. The student formation encourages high level of excellence in design and awareness of the architectural implications of their in the built environment. I'm going to show quickly a video that kind of embodies and explains some of the things that we do here at the USFQ. This is a video prepared by the university, and I hope you like it. We have 30 years or so operating in the urban area of Quito. We have a very green campus there. That is the kind of like the center of our student life. But we have these other parts in Galapagos and the Tiputini in the Amazon rainforest.
The U.S. ranking, in the QS ranking, Quito is the first one, and also is in the best 50 in Latin America. Mm-hmm. Architecture and all different competencies.
Yes, the university now enrolls 8,000 or 9,000 students, 8,000 of whom are undergraduates. The university each year receives about 100 indigenous students and 1,000 international students that participate in USFQ academic programs. In addition, some USFQ programs have ABET and AMBA accreditation. Also,
may I ask you, since you both mentioned several times the Galapagos seat and the Amazonian seat, I think if I were a student, I would ask myself, can I go there as an exchange student? I mean, can they apply to all of these campuses?
Totally. Most of the students actually come because of that, and
so
yeah, it's a very big opportunity.
Okay, so they would do an experience in one of the campuses, or they can also visit the other ones?
Totally. That would be very, very, very good for them.
Yes, so they would have really several information and many different environments. We see Galapagos and Amazonian. I guess this is really an added value for this experience already. An exchanges experience is a very great experience for the student's career, academic career, and personal life, but this will be really a total experience. I would also like about internship, if the students are allowed to do any internship, if there are any connections with any local.
Yes, of course. There is a program in the university that helps students to locate them in different studios or design practices or construction companies to be able to have a practical experience of the real world, especially in the third and fourth year. But if they were international students, for sure there is an office that helps to do that at the faculty.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you. And the questions that students always ask is about the language the lessons are held in. This is in English?
Most of them are in Spanish, but in the architecture kind of like core. But there are a lot of courses in English in the university, so I mean, you could, since you can choose what you can, that's the liberal arts kind of like point of view, that you can choose your path and choose what you want to study, kind of like a thing. You are able to have English classes also. But since the university is very, is in American fashion, what we learn or what we read actually in studios and in classes are basically in English. It's information in English.
Okay.
So it's very interesting in that kind of way.
Okay, but I guess Professor Gritti can also confirm students will not have many problems in learning Spanish. I think so.
No problem, because, for example, in the Galapagos studios, the students come from Australia, come from United States, come from other European countries. In general, when we visit and we study in Latin America, it's necessary to learn the basic language. Because it's important for the relationship, not just in the university campus. We have showed the images of a very interesting campus, but also because the activities is activities where the project is in the middle of the city, in the middle of the country, and outside of the campus. And for that, it's very important to mix English languages and Spanish languages. But it's very easy to understand.
Okay.
I didn't study Spanish in school or in course, and I learned Spanish. I hope Felipe could confirm that.
Oh yes.
Level.
Last year we actually were at Polimi doing an international workshop where Andrea was our host, and it was fantastic.
Okay. Yes, I guess this is also part of the experience, going abroad and see different cultures, and learning the language is really one of the aspects that really can help you in getting inside the cultural aspect you don't have at home. So I really think, as you both stress, it's important to learn English and Spanish and to be able to communicate with students and also with the people who live in the country. So I thank you very much. Thank you both for this presentation. It was really interesting for our students. And now I leave the floor to my colleague, Christine, who will introduce you to the next guest for the last institute.
Thank you so much. Thank you all. We are going to discover our last destination, and this is in Chile. It is Universidad Técnica Federico Santa Maria, and we're going to have as our guest again Barbara Bogoni. Hello. And
hello again.
We also have two students who actually joined the university, Eleonora and Danila. Are you here with us?
I am Eleonora. Hello.
Hello. So wonderful. Let's just start quickly with Professor Bogoni, because this university is not only for short term, but it's also a university for double degree. So that's different to the others we presented before. And maybe you can just quickly introduce the university and explain about the double degree program. And then I guess the two students can explain, because you took part in the program, right?
Okay. Okay.
Perfect.
But only some words, because we have the testimonial that are very important in this moment. So for me, it's better to let to speak they. So Valparaiso is Federico Santa Maria in Valparaiso is a campus, very big in this case, as all the Latin America campus in the big city of the Latin America. It's a campus very articulated in variety of the courses and the spaces. We have a lot of integrated courses of economy, entrepreneuriality, in business, in medicine, and different disciplines. Valparaiso is a big city in a part of Chile that is the Paradise Valley, named Paradise Valley because the urban chain and the landscape chain is like a paradise. The city is an UNESCO city from 2003 and 2023, and is a city of colors, of stairs, of paths. Is very animated and articulated city. So the image of the space for the studies is an image very strong, very interesting to develop some skills in architecture, of course. The environment, the cultural environment of Chile in architecture is in this moment characterized by the presence of some important architects. One name is Smiljan Radic, for example, that are very, very to take students for stages. That is important for our students to have some contacts, some possibilities to experiment what they study in the school in the profession, directly in the profession of the Chile architectural situation. So Valparaiso, the Federico Santa Maria campus have students that are named Sansanos. Sansanos are students that are with a degree, secondary degree, and are the professionals that in the world of Chile, but in the world of Latin America are very, very important personalities in business, in architecture, of course, and in engineering normally. We can study in Spanish. We have a lot of courses in English. But the course of study is in Spanish, And I suggest to go in Federico Santamaria to study with a learning agreement with the Politecnico di Milano for the students that have a specific orientation in terms of engineering and business of the professional, because the formation of the students in this part of the Latin America, in this school specifically, is very, very, very simple, but orientated to the construction of a profile very, very strong, very important for the future. I think that our students, Danila and Eleonora, have been this experience in depth. I think that they can explain.
So let's ask them directly. Maybe that would be very good. Maybe I don't know. Do you have to show something, Eleonora, Danila? Do you have to share some?
I don't have.
Eleonora and Danila. Do you have to share some?
No, actually, I don't have any presentation.
Eleonora?
Yeah. Actually, I did because I did the program, a double degree program in Chile. So I don't know if you wanna see something about Valparaiso. I have a book with photos that I present in my thesis in Italy to see how it is like in Italy, in Valparaiso, because it's like the city is really particular. So this is a really good point, about the university. And also, I can suggest to people that want to go to study there, to how the professor Barbara, she was saying, to go in the page. I can show. Let's see if I can show.
You can also write it maybe in the chat if you want to look at the students can see it.
In the page of architecture in Universidad Federico Santamaria, they have the specific place of architecture where they present all the areas that they have in the university. Because one of the points of this university is is different from the other university, because they don't have only a team of the main exam, which is of course the project exam. But they have different teams, from the student can decide which one they prefer. But they have areas of robotica, urbanistic, history, and bioclimatic architecture. And I don't know I think also Daniela can confirm that one of really good points of this university is they have a big laboratory where you can experiment to work with machine impressora 3D, laser, I work also with the KUKA, because they are really, really in this kind of architecture. So
can I ask you why you choose this university? So what were your expectations? Because you chose a double degree, which is not just go abroad for a semester, but you choose to be there for the whole degree. How many credits did you? How much time did you spend in?
The double degree in Chile was working like this. So I did 1 year exam in Italy, so 60 credits in Italy. And then I moved to Chile and I did 1 year of credits, so 60 other credits, more 1 year of thesis. Then because in this university, all the students have to do 1 year thesis, which is really, really a strong work. And this thesis I presented in Chile, and then when I came back in Italy, I presented in Italy.
Okay.
And the reason because I chose this, because when I started the master, I was studying in Mantova. And in Mantova now, when I started, it was the second year actually. They start to do this course, which is architectural design and history. So there, like, I was working with a lot of students came from different parts of the world. So, like, I was working with a lot of American people, and the first impression that I had was, well, it's crazy because, like, they work really in a different way from the Italian way. Because in Italy, of course, we have like a built environment. So we start from a different point to study architecture and to develop like projects. And all the people from Latin America, they were starting to build like crazy models. And I was, why? What they are doing? And so I start to get more in this. And yeah, I decided to try. And like for me, it was really, really a good experience because, of course, doing 1 year, it's different to do two. So after 2 years, I really feel part of the people there, and I really build really strong relation. And also, I don't know, but it's different how you live all the things.
Okay, Daniela, maybe I can ask you a similar question. So Eleonora mentioned that they have a different approach. Is this only regarding the studios, or is it also regarding the teaching? Is the teaching different from how lessons are taught in Politecnico?
Yes, also the teaching are really different because, for example, I had few issues, let's say issues with get used to work with another system of evaluation because during my experience in Italy it was more, let's say, humanistic approach. So you always have to present and you can always add your, let's say, personal contribution. But there you have to solve, let's say, certain topics. I would say your final mark is the result from few categories that you have to achieve, and then also your personal skills. So for me, it was a bit different because I wasn't used to literally solve this part of the project. For example, they gave you a point if you respect the deadline or in terms of the presence in the classroom. That was a bit different, but I think that in a perspective of job opportunity, it's really useful because then you will discover that usually if you work in a corporation or whenever, also in a study, in a studio, you are evaluating for your performance in the classroom and also for your performance, let's say, at home. So if you are pressing time and all this kind of stuff. By the way, it was interesting for me to study in Valparaiso because to be honest, I was a little bit not 100% sure about Valparaiso because for my background, I was more orientated on let's say, poetry of architecture. But the Federico Santa Maria, it's really technical university, and then I was really satisfied with my choice because, of course, Valparaiso is not the capital, so it's not Santiago, which is a good point because you get really close to the local community with local tradition. For example, in the campus of Santa Maria, there's a lot of opportunity to discover the local culture, the Chilean culture. They also organize study trips, for example, to the Easter Island, and then also the campus give you the opportunity to get in touch with the local students, which is not so easy because usually when you are abroad or when you are in an exchange program, you usually get to know with the other exchange students. But there you can also get in touch with the local community. And then I was saying that it's important to study in Valparaiso because the city is going through several changes, which is, in my opinion, super important also on the contemporary dimension of architecture. For example, there the slums, also the cooperative architecture, or the landscape aspects are super important, and you learn how to deal with it. Also, how to deal with the extreme environment that Chile has. and then you can get the chance also to visit all the landscape and the beautiful landscape that Chile has.
Okay, so I guess it's very a full immersion. It's not
Yes,
only it is emotional, it's professionally, it is for academic, it's for all kinds of reasons. It's very, very full immersion of experience. Thank you very much. This was very, very interesting because it is always important to understand from students because, of course, professors can give us information about how normally or for what the university is important and what they teach. But, of course, to listen to somebody who actually spent a lot of time there and had to overcome some difficulties. As I understand for you, it was new things to learn, and but then to value also that all the new kind of things you learned helped you grow. Is very, very interesting.
If I can add the last thing, that for the students that listen to us, as Eleonora may remember, when I arrived in Valparaiso, I do not nothing about Spanish. I learned Spanish there, but it was, let's say, it was quite easy in the way of course, I'm Italian, so for us it would be easier to understand Spanish. But also because the university gave you the possibility to participate in several language courses, also because the exams are all in Spanish, but that's definitely not an issue.
Okay. My last question, are you planning on going back to Chile?
Yeah, I hope so.
And Eleonora?
Yeah, I was planning to go this December, but then I had some problems. Okay. So maybe I will go back next year probably. Yes.
Okay. Thank you both so much. This was very, very interesting, and it was as we said before, you had the opportunity to stay there for 2 years, so it is a very strong experience you had abroad. It's not just one semester or 1 year, but you had a very strong experience, and I guess that the double degree program is always more, you dive really into the culture and into the life in the host country.
Yeah. I have just a last thing to say because I forgot it. Because now I'm in this, so for this reason I remember. Because like after I degree now I asked to the university what about the habilitation to for architect the degree there with double degree program, and so it's possible also to have this skill or like to ask for habilitation there and then do the validation here in Italy. So there is also this possibility. Yeah.
Yes. With the double degree, we in Chile and yes, in Chile, not in all America.
Yeah. In Chile.
Latin America, you can immediately practice the professional without the exam.
Oh, okay.
It's different
from Italy.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you all so much. This was for me, it was new. My colleague Elisa Domenis is in charge of Southern America, so she knows very well all the opportunities that this part of the world offers. But I found it very interesting. Thank you all. I leave the floor again to Elisa because she's going to just quickly sum up everything and explain what is going to happen in the next week.
Okay.
Thank you and bye.
Thank you, Christine. Thanks to all of our guests for the presentations. It was very interesting to see the point of view of professors and students, as my colleague Christina said. And now I would like to invite students who are attending these meetings for our next appointments. The first one, of course, is the next meetings that we have in calendar for Exchange Your Mind. And next week will be about Far East Asia. So there will be a general meeting introducing the week about Far East Asia, and then there will be specific meetings for architecture. I invite you always to see the page on the Polimi website, and look for the landing page for the Exchange Your Mind events. So next one for architecture is Far East Asia. Then I would like to tell you also, after we gave you all of this information about partner institutes in all of these different areas in the world, we would like to invite you, of course, to participate to the International Call for Mobility. We have a great news this year because there will be 2 submissions. The call will be published in mid-November, and it will be open until January of next year. Then there will be another call for in mid-April until May 21. And the second call will be dedicated for students who would like to depart for the second semester. So please participate to the call. And I remind you, we will also do some meetings about the call, so we'll give you all the information. And I thank you for your attention. I invite all of you to exchange your mind, of course. And thank you from me and also from all of my colleagues of the International Mobility Unit.